made it to day 2 of the Kickstart Your Arthritis Adventure Challenge, and I could not be more excited that you are here with me today. We are talking and doing everything we need to help build our stamina, especially if you feel like you can't really keep up or have a hard time going for a long time without needing rest breaks. So this is the video that's going to help elevate your heart rate a little bit, challenge that stamina so we can help to increase it. Okay, you don't need any equipment besides a chair. I always like to have a chair handy, especially if you're not super confident in your balance. You can also use a wall for support, but through any of this, if you do feel like you need a chair, I would have a sturdy one available. All right, here we go. So I just want you to start out just with some marching. Now, coming off of video 1, we did a lot of movement that required some variety. So moving side to side, moving backwards. The same is going to be today. We're going to be trying some new things to help bring some relief to those joints. Because a lot of times we're moving actually in this forward direction, where our hip muscles and our thigh muscles do get some work because we're moving forward a lot. But we also are irritating the parts of our joints that are helping us move forward. That's why side to side and backwards movement is absolutely crucial, because we want all parts of their joints to be used and supportive to us. So if you move forwards a lot walking, I am really glad you're here because we are going to add some variety today. Now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine there's a line on the floor, and all you're going to do is step over that line. So you can actually have one, or you can just imagine that one is there. Once you get the hang of this, so I just want you to just step sideways however you feel comfortable, but once you get the hang of it, I do want to see if you can speed it up a little bit. Now, side stepping is one of my favorite movements because we don't do it a lot. So we are going to be very purposeful in our exercise to get some side to side movement. And we're just gonna stay right here. So we're just warming up. You don't need to go full speed ahead yet. And now for the last one, all we're gonna do, so I'm gonna turn and show you, all you're gonna do is step backwards, step forwards. Step backwards, step forwards, and try to alternate which leg you're stepping back with. I want you to take a big step if you're able. Be careful with balance, especially if you're not used to moving backwards. Especially as you take a bigger step, it is going to require a little bit more balance. So just be careful with that. If you need to grab the chair and hang on, you absolutely can do that. Try to alternate which foot you lead with. A lot of times we always have that one foot that we like to lead with more than the other, but do try to add in some variety here. Awesome job. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all of those together and challenge balance a little bit on the way. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna take it's a square step. So we're gonna step in a square. You're gonna come forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back. So we're essentially just doing a 4-step or just making a square on the ground. I want you to try to make your square as big as you can, trying to take those big steps. If you're with us with hip arthritis, sometimes stepping to the side can be pain-provoking, so take a step where you feel comfortable, but do try to challenge yourself a little bit. We're gonna go one more this way. We're also thinking about it, which works our brain too. And now you're gonna go the reverse. So I want you to stop right where you're at and reverse it. So now we're going side, forward, side, backwards. And this incorporates all the different motions at once. So this is one that you can actually speed up for a challenge if you feel comfortable. And that's when we will start to elevate that heart rate. But I want you to get the sequence down first. Let's do one more time all the way around. And rest. Okay. So we're gonna give those legs a break for a second. I want you to take it into a your feet. And now all you're gonna do is you're just gonna punch forward. Now, I am punching straight ahead. So my fists are kind of right in line with my chin area. If you do have some shoulder pain or some achy shoulders, what you can do is you can actually turn your fists so they're pointed up, and you can punch this way. Either way is totally fine, but I want you to feel comfortable with it because I want you to now add some speed. Add some speed to it. You'll feel those core muscles start to tighten up a little bit. And we're gonna stay here for about 20 seconds, and I want to see if you can elevate that heart rate a little bit. Keep going. Three, two, and one. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your right hand and right leg. We're gonna do a combination. So it's gonna look like this. You're gonna step and punch, step and punch, step and punch. Now again, I want you to try to add just a little bit of speed to it, working those core muscles again. But I want to see if you can really kind of push off that leg and step to the side. If you need to hang on to support while you do this, if it hurts to put all your weight on one leg or something like that, use a supportive surface to help offload some of that weight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, I want you to meet me back in the middle, and we're just going to alternate up and down. I had one of my recent clients who's been going through a lot of the exercises that we've been doing here, recently just go on a hiking trip, and she said she was actually able to enjoy it, but the biggest thing was she was able to actually keep up with her friends. She wasn't lagging behind in the back. She was worried about being an inconvenience, but after she's improved her stamina, she's not only been able to enjoy it, but actually able to keep up too. So that is something to look forward to. We're gonna move to the left side. 3, 2, step and punch. Step. If at any point you do need a rest break, go ahead and take it. You can have a seat, or you can just pause the video and just hang out for a second. The goal would be to just try to make it through without doing a rest break as you work up and build up your stamina. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. I want you to meet me back in the middle, but now this time, you're stepping sideways instead of just a traditional march. This is something I have a lot of people do, like when you're cooking or if you're brushing your teeth or you find yourself standing, doing something, stepping sideways. Our first instinct is always to march, but actually stepping sideways can make a difference. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now, next one, I want you to get used to walking backwards, which I know some of you are like, that is crazy, but you know what, it can actually be really magical for arthritis, because again, we're always walking forwards. So walking backwards actually carries a lot of power, and I have a lot of people who actually find relief from walking backwards. So the safest way to do this to start is to go along a kitchen counter, or if you feel somewhat confident, you can use a wall or even just have somebody next to you, because it can be kind of weird at first. What I want you to do is you're going to walk forwards, take a couple steps. Then you're going to walk backwards. So you can kind of follow along with the wall here, or you can use a kitchen counter. Just obviously make sure that you have some space and you're not going to hit any obstacles. I always tell people you can always count the steps forward and then take that same amount of steps backwards, so you know you're not going to hit anything moving forward. Now, all I want you to do, if this is your first time walking backwards, I want you to take it slow and gradual to start. If you've walked backwards before or feel pretty confident in it, I want you to see if you can add just a little bit of speed to it. Reason number one why we watch our obstacles behind you. I have people do this like down a hallway where you know there's not many obstacles. Make sure you pick your feet up. Do not drag your feet, especially moving backwards. And I want you just to do 2 more times. If you feel like you're going at a snail's pace, that is a-okay, because let me tell you, you will get much more confident in this, but walking backwards is a great way to challenge your brain, challenge your coordination, but also get the backs of those legs and start getting those glutes involved. Okay, I want you to meet me back here. We're gonna go back to those jabs. 3, 2, and 1. We are improving our stamina, building up our endurance, so you can keep up chasing those grandkids. Another woman was watching her grandkids for the first time in a while for a full day, and she was actually pretty worried about it because she wasn't sure she'd be able to chase them and run with them and play with them and do all kinds of stuff, but she was actually able to keep up and she wasn't paying for it afterwards. So that's the goal. We don't want to pay for it afterwards. Keep going. We have 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, now what I want you to do, we're gonna go into balance just for a second, but we're still gonna elevate that heart rate a little bit. I want you to put your feet as close as you can together. Okay, make sure you can stand here. This is usually a pretty simple balance exercise of just standing here. But now what I want you to do is you're going to march your arms forward. If you're doing this and you feel okay, I want you to try to put one foot just a little bit in front of the other one. And then I want you to still focus on kind of pumping those arms at a little bit of a quicker pace than just kind of a leisurely pace. So I want you to be purposeful about it. Three, 2, and switch. So this is working those core muscles and working those upper body muscles. If you want to put one foot in front of the other, if you just did that, go ahead and then swing those arms with some purpose. We're always a little hesitant to move quickly when we have arthritis because we're always told slow down, watch yourself, but actually moving faster can, 1, help to build our stamina, but 2, give us more confidence so that way you can walk a little faster. You can actually keep up. 3, 2, and then of course we do want to do it in a safe way. Okay, while we're here, we're just gonna do one more quick balance exercise. So this is gonna require standing on one leg. If you need a wall or if you need a chair, grab it, kitchen counter. You're gonna take that right leg and you're gonna bend that knee up, just like this. So notice I'm standing on one leg for a brief period of time. Now, what I want you to do to make this a little bit more endurance friendly, or raise that heart rate up just a little bit, what I want you to do is you're gonna tap down, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Like I said, if you have a hard time putting all your weight on one leg, use something for support to offload some of that weight. Heel, toe. So you're just standing on one leg for a brief period of time. Three, 2, and 1. Starts to fatigue that hip out a little bit. Now switch to the other side, same thing. First, you're just gonna start by just bending that knee. Now, if your knee doesn't bend all the way, that's all right. Just go up as high as you can, thinking about just trying to get as close to your bottom as you can. Bend that up, and now you're gonna take it to that heel toe in 3, 2, here we go. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Go slow at first, and then if you can, add just a little bit of speed to it. I like to use my arms just because it feels natural. You don't necessarily have to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Maybe back in the middle, and we're going to those side steps. Now this time I want you to go a little bit quicker. Again, make sure balance, you're comfortable with it. But I want to see if you can get those legs moving just a little bit quicker. Start to feel that heart rate increase a little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you're gonna come out to the side, just like this. Arm and leg, arm and leg, arm and leg. So I'm opening up, getting some inner thigh. If this does not feel good to your hips, you can just step out, just like this. There's always a modification. I just want to make sure that this does feel good to you, but you're just adding arms and legs. If you want to make it a little bit harder, actually pick that leg up, but make sure it feels good to you. The more we move our arms and legs together, that's when our heart rate increases just a little bit higher than if we were to just kind of do the leg movement and then the arm movement separately. So something to keep in mind. Keep going. Open, open, open. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. I want you to meet me back in the middle. And this time you're stepping forwards and backwards. I like to do these quick little bursts. These quick little bursts of 20 seconds here, 20 seconds there, because that's what keeps our body guessing. Versus if you were just to go out for like a long walk or something, that may not necessarily improve your stamina as much as you think it will, or it's a lot slower. Mixing things up a little bit and raising your heart rate just a little bit higher, and then coming back down and coming back up, that can really help to improve your stamina more quickly. 3, 2, and 1. I hope you're sticking with me. We are almost to the end. Now, you're going to take your right hand, and all I want you to do is I want you to kind of punch out to the side, just like this. And I want you to hold it out there, and you're just punching out to the side. Like I said, if this does not feel good to you, you can turn that palm up and move it in this position. This tends to feel a little bit nicer to the shoulder if you do have some issues there. But if this feels good, I'd like you to punch your palm down if you can. 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to take that right leg and I want you to step in and out. In and out. If you feel confident with this, confident in your balance, you can add a little bit of speed. Sometimes it might feel like you're moving at a snail's pace, but when you do this video again, or if you do this video a couple more times, you might feel more confident to increase the speed a little bit. But safety is always key. 3, 2, and now we're gonna switch to the other side. So we're starting with that punch right out to the side. Do a few slow, just make sure it feels good. You can turn that palm up if you need to. Then I want you to try to speed it up. Speed it up. As quickly as, again, feels comfortable. Listen to your body. 3, 2, and now you're gonna take that left leg and now you're stepping out to the side. Again, see if you can speed it up just a little bit. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, now I want you to meet me back in the middle, and this time I want you to start to slow it down. I want you to take just a couple deep breaths as you move through. Just some light movement to get us going here. Start to cool it down just a little bit. And now I want you to take those steps and I just want you to alternate those backward steps. Really trying to take a deep breath, and you can even raise your arms as you step back and forward, step back and forward. Just slow it down. Raise your arms just as high as feels comfortable. Like I always say, you do want to feel better after a workout and not worse. So that also applies. You want to feel okay during and after. Sometimes people have pain, stiffness afterwards. You do want to make sure that after you finish exercising that you don't just go sit down for hours, that you want to make sure you are still moving every couple of minutes. Usually about 20 minutes is a good, 20 to 30 minutes is kind of a good rule of thumb to kind of avoid that stiffness setting in. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Now, all I want you to do is you're just going to march one leg, but I want you to be deliberate about it. So I want you to pull up, come down. Pull up, come down. Think about those stomach muscles. Keep slowing it down. I have an amazing, powerful story for you underneath this video that I want you to watch, and I want you to know that there is hope for you if you have arthritis. This is a client that I had been working with for a while. She had some big goals of hiking and getting back outdoors, and she was actually able to achieve them. And I just want you to hear her story. So if you click on that video down below, you will hear how her journey of how she started, how the diagnosis of arthritis felt when she heard it, and then how she was able to get back to hiking and all of that fun things. So I would absolutely watch that down below. We have 3, 2, and 1. And I want you to know that these workouts are just a taste of what I have waiting for you at the end. So these are going to be just short bursts just to give you an introduction so you can start moving and start gaining some hope and some confidence again. So please make sure that you master these exercises, meaning that you don't have any pain during or after, or have to stop this video a bunch of times to take a rest break. If you're able to make it fully through it and don't have an increase in pain during it, I would move on to day 3 and get that started tomorrow. If you have a little bit of an increase in pain or have to take some rest breaks, please go through this a couple of times before moving on, because tomorrow we're bringing in some weights. And so have some dumbbells if you have them at home. 5s usually are good to start with. 10s if you have a fitness background. But if you don't, you can use water bottles, you can use soup cans, you can use a lot of different household objects can actually be used as dumbbells. So keep that in mind. I will see you in day 3 when you are ready. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel great.